right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Ben's Corner. We've got the Arizona Cardinals versus the Orlando Sentinels here in Minneapolis, Minnesota for the Super Bowl. The Cinderella season of the Sentinels hangs in the balance. Can Shaq Hennesey achieve his goal? The primary goal last season was to get this team to the playoffs. He felt this was a championship caliber team as it was last season. He had his first draft. The team has improved from 10-6 last year to 13-3, the best record in the NFL. Victor Knox comes into this game. You see his career record at 122-96. He's got 8 winning seasons, 6 playoff wins, 4 playoff losses, and this team has never gone to the Super Bowl while he was the head coach. Meanwhile, Shaq Hennesey is 23-9 with 2 winning seasons, no playoff wins until this year, and of course the one-and-done playoff loss last season, and this team has not been to the Super Bowl until today. See the team captain London Bates greeting the opponents. The coin toss. We are ready for kickoff. Wes McGuire kicking off deep to the return man for the Cardinals at about the 2-yard line. And he will be stopped at the 24. Shaq Hennesey fired up, excited for this game. There is the leader of the Cardinals, DeAndre Bates, 4,499 yards, 29 touchdowns, 10 interceptions on the year, 70% completion percentage, and he propels a high-octane offense. You see they go spread immediately to test this defense. The pass rush was getting there, but that is a completed pass to number 80. That is wide receiver Allen Wooten for a first down and a pickup of 15 yards. These are 2 potent offenses seeking to do battle today. The Cardinals rank 3rd in total yards, 5th in passing yards, 11th in rushing yards, 19th in points per game, 11th in passing touchdowns, and tied for 10th in rushing touchdowns. See how that front 4 holds up. Here comes the first run of the game, and that's not going to gain much. Tackle made by number 91. You see Singh, Tynes, Downs, Tyler Conway, George, Spencer George, McLaughlin, Warford, Smith, Dean, and Shepard. Got a little bit of news on the injury front for both teams. Kent Kendall made that previous play for a gain of 4. There's a handoff up the middle, almost stopped by Kendall, and here comes Zaire Witherspoon blasting down from his corner spot to make the tackle. Madsen, Bates, Kendall, and Hunt up front. Blanton, Bates, and Jason McKnight subbing in for the injured Artavius Baber, Wyrick, Youngblood, Blades, and Hyde. And you'll notice a familiar name is absent from that lineup. Aaron Kershaw, the starting corner, is injured and out. Bates back to pass, has all kinds of time, finds his man, hauls it in. It looks like Ellis Smith out of the backfield. A speedy running back who rushed for 1,123 yards and 6 touchdowns. And they also go to him as a weapon out of the backfield like you've just seen. This Cardinals offense spreads the ball around. They had no receiver go over 1,000 yards, but number 1 wide receiver, Malcolm McLaughlin, 87 receptions, 949 yards, 9 touchdowns. Their number 2 man, Desmond Pendleton, has been injured for the year, but stepping up is Abdul Shepard with 81 catches, 941 yards, 4 touchdowns. Bates back to pass. Over the middle has his man for a first down. Can't see the number just yet. That is 14, Malcolm McLaughlin, their leading receiver. There's a delayed handoff, and looks like Kent Kendall in for the sack. So there is the pass rush. They might have troubles up front on the Cardinals line. They are missing their starting right guard, Chris Poe, and filling in for him will be Tyler Conway, who only started 2 games on the season. 2nd and 15 now with the Cardinals in Sentinels territory. Bates back to pass, and fires incomplete. Got it over the leaping defender, but maybe just a tad too high for his receiver. 3rd and 15 now. Bates scans the field. He's going to check it down to the running back, and right there, looks like Denario Blanton to make that tackle. The other key injury is to starting free safety Cam Staley, and filling in for him for the Cardinals will be Dion Steele. So there is not a lot of speed in the linebacking core or the secondary for the Cardinals. We'll have to see how the Sentinels decide to attack that. See Ted Lilly, their leading tackler, with 146 tackles, also 3 interceptions and 4 forced fumbles to lead the team. And the punt's off, angled out of bounds. Will that pin them deep? It will, at the 8-yard line. That was Garrett Bacon with the nice punt, pinning the Sentinels back deep in their own territory to start their first drive of the Super Bowl. Will the jitters get to Keifer Byrne? There is a lot riding on his shoulders. Questions all season long whether he was the man going forward. Has had an absolutely amazing playoff so far. And the first play is a handoff up the middle. Dalton Triplett with plenty of room. Gets up the first down and more. Gain of 15 on the first carry. We might see if they can get him revving up early in this game. Had a slow first playoff game against a tough, rough run defense. Had 100 yards last game. And so far, a great pickup on first down. We got the jumbo package for the Sentinels. Fakes the handoff. Has plenty of time. Over to the left side. Looks like he overthrew Mark Spellman. Playing inside a dome, so there's no weather effects. Byrne back to pass. Has his time, and there is Chris Bradley hauling in that reception for a gain of 21 yards. Streaky Chris Bradley's going to be a mismatch for these linebackers and corners and safeties in low coverage. See if that can open up something deep later on in the game. This Cardinals defense does not have a really standout sack leader. Their leader is Amir Blake with 8.5. And more on that after the play. He's got plenty of time. Here comes the sack. That is Vilverio Basnight, who has 5 sacks on the season. And it kind of gets distributed along the line. Solomon Branch, the defensive tackle, has 5. Ricky Rose, the left outside linebacker, has 5.5. And Jaron Stark, the right outside linebacker, has 4.5. So it took too long. Basnight there, in on the stop, the left end. Byrne back to pass again, has his man. That's Mark Spellman. Can't get away from the tackle of number 58. Ricky Rose, and Spellman went down on the play. That could be huge. He is a major force on this team, leading the team in reception yards with 1,050. Let's say it that way. 3rd and 9 now. Terrence Durham would be the backup. Byrne finds his man short of the first down marker. Perrywood breaks a tackle and picks up the first down. And that is the kind of effort we've seen from Perrywood over the seasons. Tough physical receiver, 6'4", 230-pound frame. And just out of the arm tackle of the defender. Richard Marshall, the strong safety, able to bring him down. See Taj Witherspoon, their slot corner, unable to keep up with him. Delayed handoff. Triplett has time, but closing the gap quickly was number 58. And there goes Kevin Crockett, the starting center, down for the Sentinels. And that is another huge development. Katz is the backup center, and he did not get much playing time during the season. Byrne handles a handoff. This handoff goes outside. Looks like Dalton Triplett gets bottled up for a minimal gain. Have Deion Steele in on that tackle, the backup free safety. Byrne has time, gets rid of it, hits his man. That is Dalton Triplett out of the backfield, and we know he led his team with receptions on the year with 87. A regular target that Keifer Byrne liked to target early and often in most games when he might have been able to press something downfield. But he did what he needed to do, picked up the first down, kept the drive going just outside of the red zone. Credit to Darius Stokes on the tackle. We got I formation. That's Durham going across the formation. And there's a handoff off left side. Niles McKell lowers his shoulder, crushes through the line for a gain of 5. Tackle was made by Kenyon Long. And there's another handoff off left side. This is Triplett, and he's going to gain about 4. Stopped just short of the first down. Got Trips bunched to the right. Byrne back to pass. Scans in the end zone. Caught. Bradley stretching. Can't quite reach the end zone. Tight window catch from Chris Bradley, who's not known as a possession man. He is the speed burner on this team. And just shielded the pass with his body to hold off the defender. It's number 29, Darius Stokes. And you see him just try to stretch out for the touchdown. We got Kenya Tomlinson in the backfield with Niles McKell. Power run formation. They go up the middle, and McKell crosses the goal line for the first touchdown of the Super Bowl for the Sentinels for the 6-point lead so far. See, Matt Hardy is now starting at left guard. Got some push there. Shaq Hennesey did make a few alterations along the lineup just to get what he thought would be the best matchups for this game. Hardy is a bit better of a pass protector than his predecessor, Jeremiah Spriggs. Spriggs more of a power run blocker, and he thought in this game it might be important to get Keifer Byrne some more time. And looks like that has paid off so far. Wes McGuire with the PAT is good, and he kicks off, fielded in the end zone, and run out to the 25-yard line by number 22, Antoine Warford. See how the Cardinals respond. They were having some success carving up the pass defense of the Sentinels, which is actually one of the best in the game, third-ranked pass defense on the season. Bates starts out in the gun, and he's going to fake that handoff. Here comes some pressure. Uncorks it. Intercepted. Zaire Witherspoon, the slot corner, stepping up into a starting role today for the injured Aaron Kershaw. And he comes up with another interception. His second of the postseason. A disastrous result on the first play of their second drive. He just sat on the route, not sure what Darren Bates was looking at. So the turnover machine. Zaire Witherspoon. Big plays in big games are going to make you very popular. So the approach on defense for Shaq Hennesey, he's going to rotate out the veteran Virgil Hyde and Zaire Witherspoon between the slot and outside corner. They're kind of interchangeable. Dalton Triplett's going to get the handoff off right side, has a huge lane, and rolls his way forward for a first down. First and goal now for the Sentinels. Strong safety Richard Mitchell in on that tackle. Offensive line opening up all kinds of holes so far for Triplett early on. It's a keeper for Keifer Byrne, and he gets injured on the play. That is a horrific turn of events. Kerry Kaplan, the strong-armed veteran, is going to have to play at least some time in this game, maybe all of it for the remaining future going forward. Got Kenya Tomlinson checking into the backfield, handoff to Triplett off right side, has a lane and crosses the line for a touchdown. Dalton Triplett extends the lead, but the bigger news, we've got the starting center down. We've got Dalton Triplett down, or not Dalton Triplett, I'm sorry, Keifer Byrne down. And we have Mark Spellman down. We haven't seen anything about their returns yet. We have no idea what the extent of those injuries are. Wes McGuire is going to come on for the PAT. And that is a 14-0 lead for the Sentinels, but some major injuries to key players could really dictate the outcome of this game. Kerry Kaplan is a well-established veteran in the league. Pocket passer, just like Kaplan, doesn't have the accuracy, and we've seen him in limited playing time this season so far. He shows off that strong arm, but he's a gambler, and will throw some turnovers. Bates steps back on the field. He's got trips bunched to the left, and they're going to have to answer back with something. And there is a handoff up the middle to Ellis Smith. Gain of 1. Denario Blanton, the leading tackler for the Sentinels with that play. There's a play-action pass deep over the middle. Wide open was number 12. Wide receiver Abdul Shepard filling in for the injured Desmond Pendleton, and he had quite a season. Touched on that earlier. 81 receptions, 941 yards, 4 touchdowns. A name we have not called. The man who leads the team in receptions, Kevin Dean, with 94, 911 yards, and 7 touchdowns, so a red zone threat tight end. Bates likes to distribute the ball around his targets. First and 10 from the 50, and there's a handoff, has some daylight. Ellis Smith picks up, looks like about 5. Give him 6. There's another handoff to Warford, and he's going to pick up a couple. 3rd and 2, single back. Twin tight ends on the right. There's another handoff up the middle. Kendall tried to stop him, couldn't quite bring him down. Ellis Smith will pick up the first down and continue the drive for the Cardinals. I believe this is going to be a game of big plays. Who can make the big splash plays early on so far? It's been the Sentinels. Getting some big plays on offense. The interception by Zaire Witherspoon to set them up in fabulous field position. And now Bates looking to recover from that. Fires it right where number 57, I believe that's Jason McKnight, was in coverage. The backup outside linebacker. Filling in for the injured Artavius Baber. There's a handoff off left side. He's got room. Nobody in front of him. The 10, 5, and touchdown! Arizona Cardinals. Ellis Smith rumbling forward. Great blocking downfield. And he brings his team back within striking distance. There was the big play that the Cardinals needed to get some momentum back. We're going to have to see who's going to be under center for the Sentinels as they take over on offense. There goes a camera going out. Ellis Smith was not going to be stopped by a pylon camera. The kick from Trevor Herbert is up and good. Now, he did miss He missed several extra points on the year. He missed 4, but one of them was a block. Down the starting center. Down starting tight end. Down starting quarterback. How will the Sentinels respond? Tyson Kerr fields the kick and brings it out to about the 25. We'll have to see how this offense changes. I think it's a steady dose of Dalton triplet. And you see Kaplan hands it off, bounces off his blocker. Doesn't get much on the first down carry. Give him a gain of 1. So a whole new approach to the game. Kaplan's going to sit back for his first pass, checks it down to triplet, and he's going to get stopped immediately. That goes for a loss of yardage. That is Jaron Stark, who had 10 tackles for a loss on the season with the tackle. You see him just sitting down in the zone, recognizes the pass out of the backfield, and is right there. Johnny on the spot. Third and 10 now for Kaplan in his first drive. Rossback has time. He fires it deep downfield to a streaking Perry Wood for a big first down, 26-yard gain. So that is the thing with Kaplan. He is not afraid to let that ball sling downfield. That could pay dividends for Chris Bradley, the speed demon. Wide receiver just picked up in this year's draft. Missed a lot of the season, 10 weeks. So didn't really get that chemistry established with Keifer Byrne during the regular season. There's a handoff to Tyson Kerr. He's got good blocking. There's a flag on the play. See what we got. We got a face mask on the defense. And that's on Richard Mitchell, the starting strong safety. It's going to be an automatic first down. No such thing as an incidental face mask anymore. Not sure fans remember that. There was a face mask that if they ruled it was incidental, would be a 5-yard penalty, but now everything is a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Fakes a handoff, fires it deep downfield in the end zone, and overthrows everyone. Looked like Parrish McCarthy was the intended target. And there's a handoff off left side. Triplet doesn't get much there. Give him about 2 yards on that pickup. Tackle made by Ricky Rose. Kaplan has all kinds of time, slings it out, and wayward pass in and out of the hands of Chris Bradley. Had a hard time holding onto that wobbling pass. Some tight coverage. You see, it wasn't a perfect spiral. And in on the coverage was Taj Witherspoon. And he does a good job of hitting him in the arms after he hauls in the catch to break it up. So Wes McGuire is going to come on for a field goal attempt here. He's been golden from 40 and within. That kick is up and through the uprights, extends the lead 17-7. We've seen Wes McGuire struggles with kicks beyond 50 yards, sometimes put out there to kick a 60-yarder because he does have the leg, but the accuracy might be in question. That kick is fielded at the 1-yard line, and he will get it out to the 27, does Antoine Warford. We saw Ellis Smith streak downfield on a carry off left side for a touchdown, big run. See if they go back to the well again. This Sentinels defense, the worst in the league against the run, so if there's a way to attack them, that might be it. There's all kinds of trickery on that play. Looked like a counter that got cut back. He fights forward for a gain of 3. And that's going to end the first quarter. Some drama here early on in the first quarter with the Sentinels leading 17-7. We do not know the status of starting quarterback Keifer Byrne, starting center Kevin Crockett, or starting tight end Mark Spellman. There's a handoff, and Sheldon Bates there to engulf Ellis Smith on the carry. Minimal gain. Center for the Cardinals is going to have a hard time containing big Sheldon Bates. Lobs one up deep. Caught over the shoulder by Ellis Smith out of the backfield for a big gain. 29 yards on the lob pass. Perfect touch. Look at the arc. Gets it well over the defender. That's Nate Youngblood, the strong safety, who, if he has a knock, he might not be the quickest in coverage. You see, he just quite can't get to the point. And now the Cardinals are inside Sentinels territory. They do have one of the better pass defenses in the league. They were third ranked on the season for the Sentinels. There is a carry for a gain of 1 by Smith. And the Sentinels defense was 6th overall in the league last year, or this season rather. There is a short catch. See London Bates there for the tackle. 3rd and 4. Fakes the handoff, has some time, and fires it. Almost another interception by Zaire Witherspoon, who's been in the correct position to make some big plays. That one just off the hands. And as they usually say for a defensive back, if he had better hands, he'd be a wide receiver. That's going to bring up Trevor Herbert for a field goal attempt. Vario Baz Knight speaking with the middle linebacker Tom Lilly, seeing how they're going to attack this Sentinels defense or offense coming up. It's going to be a long kick for Herbert. It is up. Does it have the distance? It does. It goes through the uprights. Cuts into the lead. 17-10 now, Orlando. So just in case you think Cardinals offense was their strong suit, these are two of the better defenses around. I mentioned it earlier. Cardinals are 7th in the league in total yards let up. And Kerr will bring it out to the 31, where the Sentinels will set up shop. They are 13th in the pass and 5th against the rush. They allowed the fewest points in the league with 297, and the Sentinels were 2nd with 319. So the two best defenses as far as allowing points. Kaplan checks it down to Bradley. He's going to go nowhere. That is a loss of 1. I'm kind of surprised they go to that play as often as they do. They don't seem to have much success with it. It isn't fooling anyone. I understand the theory of it. Bradley is a dynamic man with the ball in his hands, but you see the defense of the Cardinals all over it. It's a handoff off left side wide. Triplett tries to make a man miss. Isn't going to do it. Great play there by Taj Witherspoon. Cannot fall for the juke move. We've seen Triplett be successful so many times with that move. Kaplan has time, holds on to it. Here comes the rush. He fires it over the middle. Triplett gets away from Ted Lilly for the first down. The silky smooth moves by Dalton Triplett. We've seen it so many times. Makes men miss when he's running with the ball. Just a little spin move and able to burst upfield for the extra yards for the first down. There's another handoff up the middle. It's Tyson Kerr gets his second carry of the game. That's going to gain 4 yards. This Cardinals defense tied for 16th in sacks, tied for 12th in interceptions, and 30th for fumble recovery. So not a bunch of hard hitting on the team. There's Niles McKell off left side. Plows through the defense. Picks up a big gain for a first down. Niles McKell has shown time and time again he is more than just a short yardage back. You can give him the ball, and more often than not, he's going to get you positive gains. Really stepped up and took the role from Lee Kemp, the veteran, and hasn't looked back. Single back and twin tight ends. Kaplan back to pass, and he's going to throw it to Dalton Triplett in the flat. Not much there. No gain. Makes the handoff. Drops back. Heaves it deep towards the end zone. And in the back of the end zone, hauled in. Looks like he was pushed out of bounds. Donnell White making an acrobatic catch, but couldn't keep the feet in bounds. Gonna hit his triplet out of the backfield once more. Can't make enough defenders miss to pick up the first down. It's Triplet's 5th catch of the day. I think he leads the team in receptions today so far. Remember, Spellman went down, so he's no longer the option that he normally would be. It's going to be a long kick for Wes McGuire. The kick is up. It has plenty of distance right down the middle of the uprights. And he's going to extend the lead by 10 points. Orlando up midway through the second quarter, 20-10. And he could have made that kick from probably 5 yards or more deeper. McGuire kicks it off into the end zone. That one's going to be down by Warford. Not going to risk running that one against the special teams unit of the Sentinels. See Ellis Smith, 9 carries, 61 yards on that big touchdown run. So far, that is the highlight play for the Cardinals. They're going to need a couple more to get control of this game. Bates back to pass, has time. And that one's going to be defended by Marquis Wyrick. Number 14, Malcolm McLaughlin, could not haul that one in. Hand off to Ellis Smith up the middle. He's greeted by a duo of Sentinel tacklers. Look like Bates and Kendall crashing down on the run. Bates has time. Over the middle, overthrows his man. He had nobody behind him. And Bates is going to be kicking himself for that one. That was a surefire touchdown if only he hit his target. See nothing but green acres up ahead of the intended receiver. We're going to see the punter, Garrett Bacon, mishandles the snap, and it's blocked! Picked up by the Sentinels. Touchdown! Oh my, a blocked punt for a touchdown. See the replay, see who got in on that block. It's LaMarcus Blades, the starting free safety on special teams. And I'm trying to see who returned it. It looks like Stringer, the backup strong safety. Blades leads the team in blocked punts. He's blocked 3 on the season. So that is not an unfamiliar sight. Wes McGuire for the PAT, and that quick. The lead extends 27-10 for the Sentinels. So maybe they don't have their starting quarterback, and they're missing some key players on offense. But so far, we've seen the defense and special teams step up huge for the Sentinels, and that's what it's going to take. It's all hands on deck for the most important game of the season. Fielded at the 1 by Warford, and he's greeted by the special teams unit. Stops him at the 20. It's like Orlando Boulware was in on that stop for the special teams. So it's just a matter of inches and sometimes feet in football. Bates could have had a big touchdown that would have gotten his team back into the game, but instead that incomplete pass leads to a punt. There's a rush off left side, and he's outrunning the tacklers. Looked like they had him stopped, but Ellis Smith, with second effort and a burst of speed, picks up the first down. And that left side of the offensive line seems to be working out well. There's Ellis Smith, he's got room. See that just a trail of defenders. He outran them all. Able to pick up the first down. Some great running by Ellis Smith. You can see why he's been such a good weapon for this team. Bates back to pass. Over the middle, and nobody home. Bates, characteristically inaccurate. He was 70% completion percentage on the year. And there is a delayed handoff off left side, but Houston Madsen fights through the block of the left tackle to stop Smith in the backfield for one of the first times today. Houston Madsen, first time we've called his name. But that's a big play. You can see Singh, the left tackle, unable to hold up in the rush coverage. Has his problems in the pass protection too. Let up 13 sacks on the season. Bates has time, steps up in the pocket, and he's going to run into Kent Kendall. Strip back. Sheldon Bates, the big man, picks it up, gets tripped up by the offensive, and he goes down holding his knee. Oh my goodness, another big player up front for the Sentinels going down. He is walking off under his own power. But this is starting to look like a mash unit out here for the Sentinels. So many players going down. Kaplan's going to hand it off to Triplett. Runs to the arm tackle, weaves his way through the defense, just short of a touchdown. And there is that elusiveness of Dalton Triplett on display. 2nd and 1. And there's the handoff. Triplett was looking like he delayed a bit, looking for a hole that didn't develop. Now it's empty backfield for Kaplan. 3rd and 1 here. Has time, fires it over the middle. There's a leaping catch for number 88. That's Terrence Durham, the backup tight end. We've seen him making some plays throughout the playoffs. Was not a really main target of this offense during the regular season, but in this postseason has stepped up. And he's going to have to step up a lot more since the starting tight end, Mark Spellman, is out with injury. We do not have an update on his return. That is Kaplan's first touchdown pass of the game. McGuire for the PAT. It is now 34-10 with just under 6 minutes to go in the half. So these are good game results, but the concern are all the injuries. Might see Steve Cleveland come in for some snaps. Might do some other alterations for the defensive line. Might move Vernon Hunt to the inside. He can play defensive tackle. And that return comes out to the 29, where the Cardinals will set up shop and try to string together some consistency for another drive to get them a scoring opportunity before this game runs away from them. I have to say that the opportunity couldn't be better with the Sentinels missing their starting quarterback. There's a handoff off right side. Doesn't get much. Pickup of 2 for Ellis Smith. Single back. Quick hitter to number 12. And Zaire Witherspoon can't come up with the tackles. Excuse me, that's the veteran Virgil Hyde. Couldn't make that tackle, but swiftly backing him up is a fellow secondary member. Bates throws it into tight coverage. Zaire Witherspoon was right with him. Abdul Shepard could not get the separation. And that's why Shaq Hennesey wanted to switch these two players around between Zaire Witherspoon and Virgil Hyde. Hyde, longtime starter in the league for the Mexico City Conquistadors. They let him go, thinking he didn't have much left in the tank. Kerr's going to field that one and get met almost immediately for a minimal return. And that is something we've seen from Tyson Kerr in his young career. Only 2 touches on the day for not much success. But we know what he can do. We've seen him start a game late in the season to give Triplett a rest, and he responded with 156 yards on the ground. Empty backfield. Plenty of time, and he's going to check it down to Perry Wood, who turns upfield, picks up 8 yards. I formation behind Kaplan. arm goes across the formation, so we have not seen Spellman come back. And he doesn't follow his lead blocker, does McKell, and a rare stop for him. Not picking up many yards. 3rd and 2 now. Trips bunch to the right. Kaplan's going to drop back to pass. He's got time. Finds his man. That's Chris Bradley. Like on a curl route. Able to haul it in and pick up the first down. Held on through the contact by number 29, Darius Stokes. A touchdown saving tackle there. Bradley almost able to wiggle out of that. The drive continues with just over 3 minutes to go in the half. Fake pass. Hey, fake handoff. Chris Bradley gets the reception. No one in front of him. Finally went to the well. It fooled them. And Bradley streaks downfield. You see what a weapon he is. With the ball in his hands, got a lot of speed and can make defenders miss. Got a great block from Perry Wood downfield, and that's what sprung him. You know, Perry Wood last season was the leading receiver, over 1,000 yards, had a dozen touchdowns, and in the draft, they picked up new weapons. They picked up Chris Bradley and Spellman. He knew his role was going to get reduced, and Triplett gets a handoff, met immediately by the outside linebacker, Jaron Stark. Again, mention him being a leader on the team in tackles for loss with 10. But more on Perry Wood. He knew his production was going to drop off as Keifer Byrne got some more weapons, and he said he was okay with that. You know, he didn't care about his own personal numbers. The only number that mattered to him was wins. And there's a handoff to Triplett off left side, being chased down, but outruns the defense. And that's going to pick up a first down. It looked like there was an injury on the play, but didn't see who it was. See Tyson Kerr checking into the backfield now. 3rd and 6. They're setting up screen. Kerr gets it into traffic. Just a conglomeration of bodies, and Kerr is able to weave his way through and pick up the first down. So was that Triplett that went down with an injury? Or was that just a normal substitution with Kerr? They do rotate out the running backs fairly often here in Orlando. They're going to go back to the screen again. This is going to go to Triplett, so no, he was not injured. And that screen's going to be snuffed out. Back-to-back screen plays. Not sure if that's the best call on offense. That play loses 4 yards. And there is Amir Blake, the leading sack machine for the Cardinals with 8.5 on the season. And he makes a great play on the screen pass there. Kaplan back to pass on 2nd and 14. Over the middle, overthrew his man. Could have been a big gain. But we've seen some inaccuracy from Kaplan in the past. Very strong arm. And there's another screen. This one's set up well. And Triplett's going to pick up a few, but it's going to be shy of the first down by about 10 yards or so. And Wes McGuire is on for a chip shot field goal. This is about what an extra point would be. Rose was able to weave through the blockers and snuff out the play for a minimal gain. Wes McGuire extends the lead 37-10 in the waning moments of the half. With just under a minute to go, let's see what the Cardinals can do. Fielded in the end zone by Warford. He's going to get a pretty good return here out to the 26. We're going to have to see it's hurry-up offense time, or are they just going to be content to run out the clock? They have 2 of their timeouts left, so they have time to put a drive together, at least get a field goal on the board. Get some positive vibes going into the locker room at halftime. He's in shotgun, flanked on each side by his running backs. Bates will have time to pass. And here comes the rush. Number 90, Steve Cleveland in for his sack, filling in for the injured Sheldon Bates. So that is the theme of the Sentinel season. When players get their time to shine, can they do it? So far, we've seen some players step up. There's a short pass over the middle to Ellis Smith out of the backfield. Cardinals going to take their final timeout. Nope. The Sentinels take a timeout. Interesting. Bates with time. Here comes the rush. He gets rid of it, and that's batted loose almost into the hands of Kent Kendall. Bates having a tough time connecting with his receivers today. They're going to punt it away. 33 seconds left in the half. Bacon unloads a booming punt. Fielded at about the 16. And again, Kerr is not going to shy away from trying to return everything he can. He's met by two defenders who stop him in his tracks. We'll have to see if Kaplan is still the man under center after halftime, or if they're able to patch up whatever's ailing Keifer Byrne. See the Kaplan's first big pass to Perry Wood. And the leaping catch by Terrence Durham in the end zone. And it looks like the Sentinels will run out the clock here. Nope, they're going to play action pass it. And he's going to heave it out to Chris Bradley along the sidelines. That is a completion for a first down. Wait a minute. It was John Hicks, the left tackle. Wait a minute. So he is the third tight end. I got confused there. I'm not used to seeing a lineman go downfield, but he's a tackle eligible due to the injury to Spellman. So the third tight end gets in on a play. We've seen him catch a touchdown in goal line situations. Kaplan gets rid of it, and that looks like Terrence Durham able to pick up the first down. Looked like Kaplan was in trouble. The wily veteran able to scramble around and buy himself enough time. Not known for his foot speed is Kaplan. You see, stares down the defender and is not afraid to uncork the pass in the face of danger. There's nobody around Terrence Durham. He threaded the needle perfectly on the run. They're going to let the halftime run out. That was too far for an attempt from Wes McGuire. So Victor Knox can't be too happy with what he's seeing on the field. His team down by 27 points going into the half. We're going to see some highlights here. There was the big run by Ellis Smith off the left side that got the first touchdown on the board for the Cardinals. Just a big play, great blocking downfield. See Kaplan connecting with Terrence Durham in the back of the end zone for his first passing touchdown of the game. The Sentinels are going to start with the football in the third. Kerr gets it. It's going to change direction and try to cut upfield, but wall of defenders greet him at the 26. So if you're the Sentinels, how good do you feel as Kerry Kaplan is still the man under center leading your team? He is an established veteran with over 40,000 passing yards in the league, getting his chance to shine in the biggest game of the season. Jumbo package off to the right. Triplet runs off left, has a lot of room, gets a block downfield by Bradley, and picks up a big first down. Dalton Triplet proving what a weapon he can be against a stingy rush defense. Again, this Cardinals defense is 5th in the league, but they are having trouble containing Triplet. Darian Steele on the tackle for the Cardinals. I have to wonder how much they're missing Cam Steely, their starting free safety. He's a good one of the better ones in the league, and unfortunately he will miss this contest. A little floater, and Donnell White can't haul that in. It was high. 2nd and 10 now. And he gets that one to, looks like Parrish McCarthy. That one was also not quite on the money. But McCarthy able to reel that one in for a gain of 5 yards. His first catch of the game. We've seen him make some big plays in the playoffs. Matt Hardy is still in at center for the injured Kevin Crockett. Kaplan goes deep downfield, almost hauled in by Parrish McCarthy. Momentarily in the hands. Lots of traffic, though. Couldn't hold on to it. And a big hit applied by Richard Mitchell, the strong safety, to break up that pass and stop the drive. So we have not seen Spellman. We have not seen Crockett. We have not seen Byrne. We do not have any notifications, and theirs is a mishandled snap. That one gets blocked. Spencer Parsons able to recover it. It looked like number 47, Deion Steele, on the block. We've seen 2 blocked punts in the Super Bowl. Look at the jitters getting to the team. There's a new long snapper, as Crockett also acts as a long snapper, so maybe that's part of the reason. A little bit of inexperience, and that could be a major factor here as the Cardinals get excellent starting field position to put some points on the board. There's a fake handoff. Here comes Vernon Hunt off the right side. He brings down Bates for his first sack of the game. Hunt was the leader in sacks for the team with 10.5, and just behind him was the phenomenal Houston Madsen, who burst onto the scene about halfway through the season. We said that left side might be a weakness, as the left tackle, Raphael Singh, has led up 13 sacks on the season. There's a delayed handoff off the middle, and crushing through is London Bates and Steve Cleveland to stop that one for minimal gain. 3rd and a long 19 for the Cardinals. London Bates was a leading tackler the season before last, and Denario Blanton came onto the scene and just supplanted him by a few. There's a play-action pass deep over the middle. That's hauled in by Abdul Shepard. He keeps the drive alive, and now inside the red zone are the Cardinals. Great pass, good concentration from Shepard to haul that one in. See, Blanton led the team with 152 tackles. Bates was right behind him with 148. Both players fly around the field and are great in coverage. The time still asking quite a lot for a linebacker to cover a wide receiver in the slot. So mismatch there taken advantage of. Bates back to pass again, has time, but here comes a collapsing pocket. Kendall in on the sack. We've seen him be so disruptive in games, just taking over at times with his relentless pass rush. Remember, their starting center is not a very good one, and they are without their starting right guard. Joe Downs only let up 4 sacks, but maybe he didn't face a ferocious front line like the Sentinels have. 2nd and 21, big play for the Sentinels. Back to pass, and misses. Ellis Smith coming out of the backfield on a wheel route. Looked like he could have had some room ahead of him. Bates again. He's going to pass this one off to the left side, dragging his feet along the sideline to haul it in. It was Abdul Shepard, and this is going to be a field goal attempt for Trevor Herbert. It is up and good. Just chips away at the lead of the Sentinels. 37-13 now. Big Sheldon Bates not on the field. We've seen Steve Cleveland come in and make a play. Bird's going to field it in his end zone. He's going to run this one out. He's got some blockers ahead of him, but here comes the special teams of the Cardinals that stop him at the 26. Right now, if you're Kaplan, you don't have to do too much. I'm sure he knows that. It's a big game for him, but has nerves of steel. He's well seasoned. He knows not to be too aggressive with the football here. He's going to throw it deep downfield to nobody. Saw Bradley deep downfield. I don't think it was intended for him. I thought it was for the man underneath and just overthrew him. There's a handoff for Triplett off right side. It's got some room. But Ted Lilly able to make the tackle for a gain of only 4. He's going to set up the screen to Triplett. He's got some blocking downfield. Makes a man miss. And to the sideline. Just short of the marker. 4th and 1. So Spencer Parsons going to come back for his second punt. This one gets off cleanly. Thankfully for the Sentinels. He sends it down inside the 20. Bounces into the end zone. Unfavorable bounce for the Sentinels. You see Ellis Smith with that big run in the first half. And he's been silenced ever since. As the Cardinals move more towards a passing attack now since they're down by so many points. Got Tripp's bunch on the left. Smith behind Bates. He's going to drop back to pass. He's going to hit his man. And it's a fumble. The first pass hauled in by Kevin Dean, and he coughs it up. Big plays by the defense. Looks like London Bates with the hit. That was LaMarcus Blades. And who recovered it? Maybe it was Bates on the recovery. Who's the ball down? Who's on the ground? Yep. So a huge play if it stands for the Sentinels. Going to set them up in great field position. And a horrible turn of events for the Cardinals. They're going to review this one. Did he have control before he lost it? Was his knee down? And a knee looks down before the ball comes out. I think this will get overturned. You can see the knee is clearly down. Didn't look like the ball came loose through contact. Let's see the ruling. It was overturned, no fumble, so give a gain of 5 yards to the tight end Kevin Dean. They're going to hand off up the middle, and he gets away from Cleveland. But there to lay a pop was London Bates, but good for a first down. Handoff off to the left side, and Vernon Hunt there to pick it up. Well, it's the left side of the defense, right side of the offense. Hunt, a ferocious pass rusher, but showing he's stout against the run. He had just as many tackles for a loss as he did sacks, 8, which was not good enough for the lead, but he was right behind Madsen and Kendall. Deep drop back, batted up in the air. Hunt showing off his vertical skill. Pass intended for the running back in the flat, and Hunt said, no thank you. Bates back to pass again, has his man hauled in, held him through the tackle. Oh, London Bates tried to jar that one loose, but Shepard held on. Picks up a big first down for his quarterback. He knew he was going to get hit. You know, if you're running an in route over the middle of the field, there's going to be a lot of linebackers and defensive backs right there. The Sentinels like to crowd that area with safeties and linebackers. You can see it there in this formation. Fakes the handoff over the middle. That pass is caught from Malcolm McLaughlin. Have not called his name that much this game. Their leading receiver. Only his second catch. Delayed handoff up the middle. Gets some good blocking. A trio of tacklers for the Sentinels, but it's not enough to prevent the first down. The Cardinals are now in Sentinels territory. Fakes the handoff and delivers a great pass to Allen Wooten, who picks up another first down. So things starting to get on a roll here for the Cardinals passing attack. LaMarcus Blades in on that stop. Another fake handoff. Another completed pass to Wooten in the slot. Another first down. And there's a handoff off the right side. Vernon Hunt able to drag him down, but a gain of 3 on the play. Got a power formation here, power I. And there's a handoff up the middle to Antoine Warford, who picks up about 3 on the carry. Denario Blanton in on that stop. 3rd and 5, inside the 20. Back to pass, slings it out to the running back. Can't make London Bates miss. That's going to stop this drive short of the end zone. Seen Ellis Smith be a weapon in the passing attack. Try to juke move, but you're not going to take down one of the leading tacklers on the Sentinels with that move. Bates burst onto the scene in his rookie season and has not been a disappointment in his second. You see Trevor Herbert out for a field goal here, chip shot. It's up and good, and he chips away at the lead. 16-37, Orlando Sentinels favor. But you're going to need more than field goals to get back into this game, as we've got under 5 minutes to go in the third. Kerr feels it at the goal line. Going to return this one. Gets through the initial wave for a burst out to the 31. Good return from Tyson Kerr. We've seen him do that all season long. Did return one for 101 yards for a touchdown. And one of the leading returners in the game. See Jason McKnight, who fills in for the injured Artavius Baber. We've got Kaplan still under center, who is the backup Hardy. Fakes the handoff, play action, deep over the middle, hauled in. Looks like Perry Wood with that reception, and it is good for a first down. You see Perry Wood getting involved, 4 for 66 yards. Some big plays over the middle. He's not going to shy away from contact. Seen him make all kinds of tough catches in his history with the Sentinels so far. Very valuable weapon. And a big possession guy is a safety blanket. It's going to be a handoff off right side. Triplett able to shift his hips and gain a few extra for a 5-yard gain. Richard Mitchell in on that tackle. Kaplan has time on the pass. Here comes the rush. He gets rid of it. And that is Perry Wood with another big catch in traffic. Hauls it in for a first down. And Kaplan having a great game in relief of Keifer Byrne. Looks like he's going to miss the rest of the game. It's a shame for a young quarterback seeking to prove that he's worth his big contract extension that will be coming up soon. And in the biggest game, after he's had such a tremendous playoff showing, goes out early in the big game. But I know he's a team player. I know he's watching wherever he is. If he's on the sideline or back in the recovery booth. And there is Tyson Kerr. He changed directions, went off left side, and picks up 8. He's cheering on Kaplan and the Sentinels to win this game, obviously. Kaplan, here comes the rush. Can't get away off the edge. Was the strong safety, Richard Mitchell. And no one able to pick up the blitz. Looked like he was just getting ready to get rid of it, but Mitchell showing off his blitzing prowess from the safety position on the blitz. 3rd and 9. Kaplan back to pass again. Rams around, checks down to Triplet, who hauls it in, but short of the first down to set up a chip shot field goal for Wes McGuire. It was Isaac Leach on the tackle, the backup left outside linebacker for the Cardinals. Snap is good. The kick is up. It is good as well. And negating the previous field goal from Trevor Herbert, the Sentinels now have 40 on the board as we're getting ready to head into the fourth quarter. Kick off to the goal line. Fielded by Warford, and there's the special teams to meet him at the 25. It's where the Cardinals are going to set up shop. We have seen flashes of this offense, but erratic play, some costly turnovers. Just can't seem to get on a roll. Bates, one of the leading passers in the game. We touched on that. 4,499 yards, 29 touchdowns, and only 10 turnovers. And there's Kent Kendall stuffing the run in the backfield for a loss of 3. Ellis Smith had nowhere to go when he received the handoff. Kendall showing that he's not just a terror in the passing game. He can also stand stout against the run as an interior lineman. Bates has time, and here comes the rush. He gets crushed as he lets go of the pass, but that's completed to Ellis Smith, who picks up his first down. Play action pass. Steve Cleveland on the rush, but completed deep over the middle to Malcolm McLaughlin to end the third quarter. The Sentinels pouring it on early, but it's slowed down in this third quarter. Maybe taking the foot off the gas pedal, slow it down with this game looking to be in hand. Low snap, but handled well. Ellis Smith bursts straight through the line for a big gain of 8 yards. Leads on that tackle. Bates has plenty of time. Gets rid of it, can't connect over the middle for his intended receiver. 3rd and 2. This is what we've seen from the Cardinals. They get on a roll, and then it just kind of falls apart at the end. Bates fires deep. That's hauled in with one hand by the big tight end, Kevin Dean. Leading receiver in terms of receptions for the Cardinals with 94 on the season. Only his second of this game. Just a seam route, nobody picked him up. LaMarcus Blades with the tackle. Wondering how this secondary would hold up, missing Aaron Kershaw, the shutdown starting corner. Marquis Wyrick has taken over the number 1 role, but first down at the 6. Bates has time in the back of the end zone, just out of bounds. Benjamin Benedict, the tight end, headed to the back of the end zone. Arizona's going to take a look at this. And no, you can see both feet clearly out of bounds as he makes the catch. We saw a questionable call in the previous game. It looked like the wide receiver was clearly out of bounds, but they gave him the touchdown anyway, because the Tigers didn't challenge. What is the ruling here? They're going to say no, it was not a complete pass. So 2nd and goal. Shotgun formation. Bates has some time over the middle. That's Dean again. Fights through the tackles for a touchdown. Big Kevin Dean, showing why he is a red zone threat with his 7 touchdowns on the season. Makes a catch over the middle, and there's a normally short tackling Denario Blanton and others. Just couldn't make a tackle. Nobody got a good arm tackle around him. Couldn't wrap him up. He's able to bounce off the shoulder blows. Power his way into the end zone. Gives some signs of life to this Arizona offense. And they're going to go for 2 here. A wise choice. Bates has all kinds of time. Here comes the rush. Steve Cleveland is going to get there to prevent the 2-point conversion. That is his second sack of the quarterback. Today, filling in for the Sheldon Bates. We have no updates on any of the injuries we've seen today. Spellman is out, the starting tight end. The starting center, Kevin Crockett, is out. Sheldon Bates is out. And of course, starting quarterback Keifer Byrne is out. So 22-40 now. Sentinels still have the advantage. And popped at the 24-yard line is Tyson Kerr on the return. And that brings the game within distance. Some stout stands by the Cardinals defense. Get the ball back in the hands of the offense. You've got a chance in this game. It isn't over yet. Power I formation for the Sentinels. There's a handoff up the middle to McKell. Not much doing there. Gain of 2 on first down carry. Another handoff. This one off the left side. That goes nowhere. Vilvario Baznite with a tackle for a loss. Blows that one up in the backfield. Just overloaded that side of the line. Not enough blockers. Back to the drawing board for the Sentinels on 3rd and 9. Kaplan calls for the snap. Fires it almost into the hands of the diving Dion Steele. The backup safety could have had a huge turnover there. Kaplan was going for the streaking Durham over the middle, but well off the mark. We've seen that from Kaplan so far. He does have that strong arm. Can get hot and go on a tear for a while. And that is a pooch punt. Inside the 20, and that's where it'll be downed at the 20 from Spencer Parsons. So that's the step up you wanted from your defense to stop the Sentinels from putting the points on the board to give your offense a chance. If they can get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, that's 40-30. Checks it down to Ellis Smith out of the backfield. Runs through the tackle, Zaire Witherspoon, for a gain of 8. Couldn't quite keep himself up on his feet. A touchdown here, 2-point conversion, as I said, makes it 40-30. That's a 2-possession game then. You've got a chance to at least tie it up with your timeouts and the time remaining if you can stop the Sentinels offense. Bates back to pass. Has time over the middle. That's hauled in by Malcolm McLaughlin, who makes Virgil Hyde miss. And that is a huge gain past the 50-yard line into Sentinels territory. So big plays in chunks are really going to help if you can pick them up and keep them going. Although there is still quite a bit of time left, the more points you can get in a hurry are the better for the Cardinals. Bates and shotgun. Here comes a rush from the outside, but checks it down over the middle to Smith, who pick up 9 on the reception. So Bates starting to warm up late in the game. He's going to float it out to Dean, the tight end, in the flat for a pickup of a first down, and he's got almost 300 yards passing now. Plenty of time. Fires it off deep to the right side. That is Tavares Franklin with his first catch of the game and a huge pickup of 21 yards. It's 1st and goal now for the Cardinals at the 8. There was no one around him. Just between Wyrick and Youngblood. Just a spot left open in the coverage. And there's Shaq Hennesey looking on. And he is not pleased with that play, of course. 1st and goal now. Just under 10 minutes to go. Handoff up the middle. Sneaks through for a gain of about 4 is Ellis Smith. The Sentinels were not a very opportunistic defense. 22 takeaways. They've got 3 on the day. There's a handoff. Off right side in the end zone. Ellis Smith for the touchdown. Untouched before he crossed the plane. Just fooled the defense. Off tackle right. Youngblood's there and can't get to the point of attack to keep him out of the end zone. So that's exactly what you need as the Cardinals. You get a stop on defense, you come right back down, make some big plays on offense, and put a touchdown on the board. They're going to go for a PAT. Either way you looked at it, it would have been a 2-score situation. Well, the touchdown makes it 40-36, and you need another touchdown to win, saying the Sentinels don't put more points on the board. See Triplett and Bates talking to each other. There comes Shaq Hennesey, giving his leading linebacker, captain of the defense, a pat on the shoulder and say, okay, forget about that one. Let the offense have a crack at it. Let's get into the film room. Kerr fields it from midway in his end zone out to the 26. And just study some tablets, see what they can shore up. See Kerry Kaplan started off hot, cooled off a bit in the second half. There's a delayed handoff to Triplett, and he's going to weave his way through the defense. Pickup of 3. If you're the Sentinels, you're going to want to run time off the clock. They're going to do it. Triplett up the middle for another gain of about 3 or 4. 3rd and 4. Empty backfield for Kaplan. Scans field over the middle to Chris Bradley, who just gets over the first down marker. We'll see where they spot it. And it's going to be ruled a first down on the field. Bradley's 5th catch for 80 yards on the game. Just able to get enough separation from the middle linebacker, Tim Lilly. And you really can't ask a middle linebacker to cover one of the speediest receivers in the game. There's a handoff up the middle for Triplett, and he is engulfed by the trio of tacklers on the defense. Credit Richard Marshall with the tack. Pump fake. Floats it out to the right side, and right there was Taj Witherspoon, who almost intercepted that pass. Dangerous floater from Kaplan. Here comes a rush. He escapes, but they're going to get him. Leading sacker, one of them for the Cardinals, Ricky Rose, 5.5 sacks on the season. Comes up big in this game. Getting to the quarterback who saw it coming, not much he could do about it. He's got Ricky Rose right in his face. And that is going to halt the drive of the Sentinels, exactly what the Cardinals need. Spencer Parsons back to punt. Saw one blocked earlier. It is fielded by the return man. Makes a man miss, but here comes the second wave. Warford with a good punt return there to set up shop at the 30 for the Cardinals. DeAndre Bates has gotten hot. just when he needed to. The game is on the line. And he's coming out empty backfield to start this drive. He has time and fires incomplete. Had a couple of eligible receivers in the area, but overthrew them both. Here comes Kendall up the middle, and he fires to the sideline. Was it hauled in? No, incomplete. 3rd and 10. He slings it over the middle, gets away from the defense. It's a foot race. He's got a lead. He's getting away from the defense. 10-5. Touchdown, Cardinals. Malcolm McLaughlin turning on the Jets after the reception. Got Zaire Witherspoon turned around. Bates trailing behind him, but Bates is not going to catch up to McLaughlin. Nothing but green pastures ahead and the end zone. McLaughlin scores the football. And this is now a close game. It was a blowout earlier. We wondered how the Cardinals would respond, and they have turned it on in the second half for sure. Cardiac moments for the Sentinels fans, as this game is within one score. They're going to go for 2 here so that a field goal could potentially tie the game. Bates has time, back of the end zone. Does it count? They're going to say incomplete, so no good on the 2-point conversion. And it remains a 1-score game. Got to get a touchdown to win it. It was close. Tavares Franklin, we saw him make a big play a little bit earlier, but couldn't haul that one in. Kerr feels it within the end zone. And he streaks the field, loses the football. Initially recovered by the defense. That looks like a strip. Trying to recover. See, it's number 36 on the recovery, Richard Mitchell. And that is an amazing turnover. It stands. Huge play in a critical situation. Bates back to pass. Has all kinds of time. Finds his man off to the right side. Smith with the reception for a gain of 3. So in great field position here just outside the red zone. The Cardinals have a chance to take the lead late in the 4th quarter. And what a mistake from Tyson Kerr on the return. 2nd and 7 from the 24 of the Sentinels. Delayed handoff off the middle. Popped by the defense. Hit hard. Loses the football. London Bates with a sledgehammer hit. Recovered by Aaron Stringer. And we'll see if that one stands. That looked like a clean fumble. Smith got the handoff, and what a sledgehammer hit. So back-to-back fumbles, turnovers for both teams, and now the Sentinels will have the football again. Trying to protect a 5-point lead with just over 5 to go. Triplett gets the handoff. That's Kerr, weaves his way through the traffic. A gain of 7 on the carry. Can they run this clock out? Arizona has 2 timeouts left. Handoff up the middle. Kerr again with the first down, and he goes down with an injury. Holding his left shoulder is Tyson Kerr. And he's on the bench. Looks like he's just shaken up a little bit. Should be able to check back into the game. That's good news for the Sentinels, as we've seen so many of their weapons disappear from the game today. There's another handoff up the middle. Mikkel sheds a tackle. Picks up 5 yards. There's another handoff up the middle for Mikel. He lowers his shoulder, not going to get much there. Maybe a gain of 2 on that one. 3rd and 4 now. Just under 4 minutes to go. Kaplan back to pass, has time over the middle, complete to Perrywood, picks up the first down, and the drive continues. Clock ticking down. Excuse me, that was Terrence Durham. Backup tight ends pushed into a starting role with the absence of Spellman, who got injured early in the game. He has been making lots of plays for the Sentinels. There is a handoff up the middle. Weaving his way through is Niles Mikel for a nice gain of 9 on that carry. And things are getting a little feisty out there on the field. You can understand late in a close game for all the marbles. Another handoff. Tripped up after the handoff is Tyson Kerr, but he stumbles across the first down marker. And we're going to have a 2-minute warning with the Sentinels. They get the snap off just before Kaplan in a C all by himself. Looked like Perry Wood on that reception for a big first down. And he is over 100 yards on the game with his 6th reception. Kerr out of the backfield. They throw it to him. He's got some blocking downfield. Touchdown, Tyson Kerr. And Kerry Kaplan with his 2nd passing touchdown of the game. Gets some much-needed comfort room for the Orlando Sentinels with that touchdown. Putting it back to a 2-score game. Nobody picked him up out of the backfield. Kerr with his amazing speed, able to streak into the end zone for the go-ahead score. Extending the lead to 47-35. And a deep sigh of relief from Shaq Hennesey on the sidelines. And I'm sure a lot of Sentinels fans tuning into the game. McGuire kicks it off. Fielded at the goal line by Warford. And he's going to get it out to the 33. A good return from Warford. McLaughlin started off cold, but has picked up as the game has gone on. He's over 100 yards on just 5 receptions. Had some big chunk yardage. And, of course, a touchdown in the game. It's going to be an all-out passing attack here for Bates. Here comes Kent Kendall up the middle. With a hand on it is London Bates. Just able to bat that one down in front of the receiver. Good coverage from Bates. We've seen it throughout the season. There was a quick release. Pass completed to the backup tight end, Chase Kaiser. They take a timeout on 3rd and 2. Minute and a half remaining. And floats one deep. Up in the air. Still batted around. In and out of the hands of about 6 players. But the ball falls to the turf harmlessly. That, if it was picked off, would have been the dagger. It may still be too little too short for a touchdown here anyway. We need a touchdown and an onside kick to recover the ball to get 2 scores with not much time remaining. Rolls out deep over the right side. And with the big reception is Benjamin Benedict, the tight end. Bates scans it over the middle. And he's completed his pass to Sammy Whittington, the fullback. No huddle from the Cardinals. And over the middle for a short gain to Calvin Binns. Wade handoff fakes over the middle deep. Number 84 gets hit as soon as he makes the catch. That was Benjamin Benedict once again, threatening to score here with 20 seconds left. Bates back to pass. They send a rush out of the back of the end zone. Incomplete. 17 seconds. Over the middle, touchdown, Cardinals. But is it too little, too late? Malcolm McLaughlin with his second touchdown of the game draws this game within 6. The 2-point conversion doesn't really matter here. You're going to need another touchdown to win the game, regardless if you go for the extra point or the 2-point conversion. So they're going to settle for the 2-pointer, for the PAT rather, and that is up and good. 42-47. That would have been a much different story had the Sentinels not been able to get their touchdown to occur on their previous drive. And as we suspected, the onside kick, and it is recovered by the Sentinels. Looks like Donnell White jumped on that one. They're going to go in victory formation with 12 seconds to go and no timeouts. That's going to do it. The Orlando Sentinels finish their Cinderella season, going from one of the worst teams in football, turned around in 2 seasons. They win their first Super Bowl in over 20 years. Young blood celebrating, the confetti on the field. Shaq Hennesey going to congratulate Victor Knox at midfield. It was a great game. Darren Bates, inconsolable. The game was so close. They had a chance. But the Orlando Sentinels, you see the game-winning touchdown there, the one that sealed it, from Tyson Kerr. Niles McKell with his touchdown. Ellis Smith with his big run for a touchdown. Through all the adversity, all the injuries that they suffered this game, the Sentinels found a way to get it done with backup veteran Kerry Kaplan. I say Lennox Steven is the one who recovered a blocked punt for a touchdown. Tom Lilly at midfield. Shaq Hennesey celebrating with all of his players on the sideline. See Keifer Byrne up on the podium with the trophy, so maybe he's all right. He did miss the entire game, but they're going to give him the trophy. He's the one that got him there. Kaplan able to hold on to it. And let's take a look at the stats. See DeAndre Bates, 33 for 51, 461 yards, 3 touchdowns, but a costly turnover from, once again, man on the mission, Zaire Witherspoon. Keifer Byrne came out 5 of 6 for 70 yards, so he was hot, but got injured early, and that turned it over to the veteran Kerry Kaplan. You see 13 years of experience, 23 for 32, 239, 71% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Managed the game, did what he had to do to protect the football, and get his team the victory in the Super Bowl. Let's take a look at the rushing attacks, and both teams had good representations. Ellis Smith, 22 for 89, had a touchdown on the ground, had one through the air, did have a costly fumble. Dalton Triplett for the Sentinels, 20 carries, 82 yards, a touchdown for him as well. Saw Niles McKell with the first touchdown of the game, powering it over the goal line. Tyson Kerr, 6 carries for 30 yards. Warford had a carry around the end zone, got a touchdown for the Cardinals. And in the receiving game, Ellis Smith and Dalton Triplett, the two leading receivers for both teams. We've seen that in the past from the Sentinels, but more when Keifer Byrne was the quarterback. See, McLaughlin, 6 hauls for 140 yards. Perry Woods, 6 for 107. McLaughlin with 2 touchdowns. Chris Bradley, 5 for 80. Kevin Dean with a touchdown, 4 for 46. Abdul Shepard, 4 for 73. Terrence Durham filling in for the injured Spellman, 3 for 28 and a touchdown. Wooten, 3 for 39. Benjamin Benedict, 2 for 40. Tyson Kerr, 2 for 20, and the game-sealing touchdown. Winnington, 1 for 16. Kaiser, 1 for 8. Franklin, 1 for 21. Dropped that 2-point conversion. Calvin Binns, 1 for 2. McCarthy, 1 for 5. Hicks, the left tackle, who had to be a tackle eligible, 1 for 15. Spellman, 1 catch, but got injured on that play. Dano White had a drop. Let's see what the blocking looked like today. Conway, filling in for the starter, had a rough game, let up 2 sacks, and so did the center Joe Downs. Tyson Kerr couldn't hold a block. Raphael Singh let up a sack, and Mark Spellman also let up a sack. For the defense, let's go for the Cardinals first, and leading the team with tackles is Ricky Rose, the left outside linebacker, 14 tackles, 1 sack. Richard Mitchell was all over the field today, 13 tackles, 2 for a loss, and a sack. Tom Lilly with 10 tackles, 9 for Darius Stokes. Kenyon Long, and Dion Steele with Valverio Basnight all had 8. 3 tackles for a loss and a sack for Basnight. Taj Witherspoon, 6 tackles, 1 for a loss. Jerron Stark, 4 tackles, 3 for a loss. Saw him making a lot of impact plays. Sammy Whittington, 4 tackles, as well as Amir Blake, who also had a tackle for a loss. 3 tackles for Leach and Dean. 2 apiece for Jarrett, Tynes, and Medlock. 1 for Church, Steele, Marion, Kaiser, and Gerard. Let's see what the sacks look like for this team. There were 3. 1 Ricky Rose, 1 Richard Mitchell, 1 Valverio Basnight. No interceptions for the Cardinals. 4 passes batted away, 1 from Rose, 1 from Mitchell, Witherspoon, and Steele. There was a fumble from Richard Mitchell. None of them recovered, though, and there was that big block punt early from Dion Steele. Let's take a look at the Sentinels defense. There's Lennox Steven, who was given, I believe, player of the game for his 1 play. So London Bates, tackling machine, 17 tackles, 2 for a loss. Lamarcus Blades, 11 tackles. Denario Blanton, 10 with 1 for a loss. 7 tackles from Youngblood and Kendall and Witherspoon, but a tackle for a loss and 3 sacks from Kent Kendall, which we've seen him do throughout the season, multiple sack games. The big interception for Zaire Witherspoon early in the game. Marquis Wyrick, 5 tackles, 4 apiece for Hunt with a sack. Bates before he went down, and Andrew Stringer, the backup safety. The veteran Hyde with 3 tackles. 2 apiece for Steve Cleveland, who also had 1 for a loss and a tackle. Terrence Durham, Orlando Boulware, Jason McKnight, and Ricky LaMontagne with 1 tackle. Kenyon Tomlinson, McCoy, Lamb, Stewart, Madsen, and Lennox Steven. See the sacks of the game. 3 for Kendall, 1 for Cleveland, and 1 for Hunt. Interceptions, 1, but a big one from Zaire Witherspoon. Zaire Witherspoon defended 2 passes, McKnight with 1, and Bates with 1. There were 2 fumbles forced, Kent Kendall and London Bates. 1 recovered from Steven, 1 from Bates, one from London Bates. And that fumble recovery was the one that Sheldon Bates came up lame on as he was kind of tackled awkwardly to the ground. There was a blocked punt from Lamarcus Blades, no safeties, and a touchdown from Lennox Steven on that block. In the kicking game, not a lot going on for Wes McGuire, save for, well, he had 4 field goals. My mistake. He was a little busy. 4 for 4 in field goals with a long of 53 and perfect on his extra points. And Herbert, 3 for 3, his long of 50 and perfect for extra points as well. Take a look at the punters real quick. That's exciting. 4 punts for Garrett Bacon, 144 yards. 1 blocked, 2 inside the 20, and Parsons had 1 blocked and 1 inside the 24 for 171. In the kick return game, Kerr had a lot of them. 8 for 210. Donnell White on the onside kickoff recovery. And for the Cardinals, Warford 8 for 198. Punt return yards 2 for 10 for Warford and 2 for 4 for Kerr. And he had that key fumble as well. So, the goal was accomplished. Shaq Hennesey, and it's quite unbelievable. I did not think this rebuild was going to go this fast. Shaq Hennesey turned this horrible team around in 2 seasons. Got them to the playoffs in their first season. They were one and done, unfortunately, but the ride continued with Keifer Byrne under center, propelled them to the best record in football this season, into the playoffs, an amazing playoff performance. And unfortunately, we don't know what could have been for Keifer Byrne in the Super Bowl. He was knocked out in the first quarter, and the veteran Kaplan had to take over. And credit to where it's due, he did what he had to do to hold on to the lead and propel this team to victory. So what is the future for this franchise? What is the future for the series? What is the future of Keifer Byrne? Does he get his big extension? Do they trade him away and rebuild again? I'm going to leave it up to you guys. I need to see comments in the comment section. I need to hear from the fans. Do we keep this running to see if we can build a dynasty with this team? Does Shaq Hennesey go back-to-back Super Bowls? How many Super Bowls can they win? Can they be the ultimate Super Bowl winning team in the history of the NFL? Is Keifer Byrne the quarterback for this team going forward? Lots of questions to answer. Is this the end of the series? Do we go on to something else? Because, as we know, this is going to be unpredictable. This series can only last as long as EA keeps this game on their servers, and who knows when they're going to end that again. I may not be able to play this game again if they remove it from the servers once more. And that's going to put a big tombstone on this franchise. So do we keep this running for as long as we possibly can? Do we try something else? And if so, what is that going to look like? I have some ideas. I'll float them out there in another episode. Give you guys some times to watch this, absorb the amazing Cinderella season for these Sentinels, the Super Bowl victory. I can't believe it. I'm stunned. And it looked like they had a chance to lose it. It was looking great early. Then the Cardinals came storming back. So, I mean, what an exciting game. If you're going to have a Super Bowl, to have it come down literally to the last moments, it could have gone either way. The Sentinels found a way. So let me hear from you guys on what you think we should do going forward. Continue this franchise? Start all over with a different idea? Go with a different football game? Go with a different sport? Stay tuned for the next episode where I share my feelings on that. I'll share a couple of options. I might put something down in the comments section for you all to vote on, give you some suggestions. Maybe you can give me some suggestions on what we should do here with this franchise, this series. Proud man Shaq Hennesey turning the football world on its head in only 2 seasons, getting his team to a Super Bowl victory, a perfect run on one of the most historic performances in the playoffs by a quarterback. Keifer Byrne could have upset Joe Flacco maybe for that title if he could have pulled off the Super Bowl victory and played the full game. We will never know, at least not in this season. That's going to do it from me. Thank you all for tuning in for this ride. It has been so much fun for me. I hope it's been fun for you. I'm still stunned. I can't believe it that this has happened. That we were able to actually get this series back going again and finish what we started all those years ago. What an amazing run. Does it continue? You let me know in the comments section. Thank you all the longtime fans and new time listeners. I hope you've seen a lot from this long play series. If you're just catching this one, you can see the story back from the first episode, how it all began, how this team was built, and the wild ride it has been. Thank you all so much. See you next episode on Ben's Corner.